Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Darth Matu's Holocron. This is the first ever Darth Matu reviews. I plan on doing a lot of things in this series over time. Books, movies, games, but Star Wars seemed a fitting place to start. And what better place than the latest Star Wars game, Star Wars Squadrons. Star Wars Squadrons is a starfighter simulator that focuses on fast-paced combat between starships during the era just after the Battle of Endor. Normally, this would excite me greatly, and I was mildly intrigued, so long as I forgot that this was the Disney canon. The campaign, overall, is extremely forgettable, so I figure we'll get that out of the way first. Squadrons does have a campaign, and this is good. Too many modern games toss away the single-player element in favor of the more popular and most easily monetizable multiplayer side. Squadrons has 14 single-player missions, which is a little bit slim, but it's still a good amount to play through. I'll keep the story summary generally spoiler-free. There isn't really much story there anyway, but just be warned that there are going to be some minor story outlines spoiled beyond this point. So skip ahead a couple of minutes if you want to avoid that. Still here? Alright, so the story follows two sets of squadrons, one on the New Republic side and one on the Empire. The New Republic side is tasked with the protection of the super-secret Project Starhawk, which is the prototype for the New Republic's new battleship. The Imperial side is tasked with finding Starhawk and destroying it. It eventually culminates in an epic showdown, as they normally do. And it is an interesting dynamic, but it's one which I feel could have been explored in a better way. For example, the Star Wars galaxy is filled with iconic locations and instantly noticeable locales. Places that people would love to visit, especially with the impressive graphics that the game sports. Instead, we get to see a bunch of gas-filled voids, or places like Hosnian Prime. There's a level over Mon Cala that's good, but it just feels like you don't really go anywhere special. We do get to see and fly with Wedge, which is nice, but instead of the rest of Rogue Squadron, you get sent to rescue Alphabet Squadron, a group that nobody cares about. Characters like Hera, from some of the worst Star Wars projects to date, are in the main campaign, and these things hold the story back in a big way. It just makes it feel bland and unlived in a way that is not really Star Wars. The gameplay is good, and that is what gets you through the story missions. But to be honest, I didn't even finish it, hence the lack of footage that I've got in this video. The game progressively gets more difficult, and around mission 10, this difficulty begins to feel really artificial and inflated. It's not as if you're flying against and outwitting cunning opponents, it's more like you're just in an endurance match against a computer that has an unfair advantage. Once that happened, I completely switched over to multiplayer and I never looked back. The Starhawk itself, it's incredibly unimpressive. Something about its design tells me that whoever made it tried to have their cake and eat it too. It's bristling with guns and hangars. It looks a lot like a ship that you would see in somebody's bad fanfiction. And it sports an absolutely ridiculous weapon. A super tractor beam which is capable of tossing Star Destroyers around like they are nothing. This weapon, it's specifically stated to be powered by extremely rare and expensive crystals. You spend a whole mission protecting a convoy that is transporting them to the build site. And yet, at the same time, this vessel is supposed to be the next frontline ship for the New Republic? How is this possible? Will they all have such a weapon? And if so, then where is the New Republic getting enough of this incredibly rare and expensive material to build hundreds, if not thousands, of ships with? The banter between the characters within your squadron is good, but the characters themselves are incredibly unimpressive. The Imperial side is really a joke. They look alike, they act alike, or they are completely nonsensical. One of them is a TIE pilot who never takes his helmet off because his neck was broken 6 times, and if he takes it off, he will die. Again, the plot holes. If he is that messed up, why isn't he in a suit like Vader? I mean, his TIE helmet has scarring on it, which suggests that it's his personal helmet that he was in crashes with. Does that mean that they turned his TIE suit into a life support system like Vader has? And is this standard practice among the Imperial military? Did he get to choose what they put his life support system in? And if so, does the Imperial Navy do that for all of its veterans? The cost of allowing individualized treatment to hundreds of billions would be staggering, and the Empire is supposed to be on its last legs. I know that this seems like nitpicking, but this is Star Wars that we're talking about. One of the most detailed IPs in all of narrative history. I mean, it has 150,000 years of mythology, and most of that time you can pinpoint individual events. I mean, it's like Star Trek, where Klingon is an actual language. Star Wars has many of the same things. It has been a story that fans and storytellers have enriched to an incredible degree, and I don't think it's too much to expect the people that are writing the new Star Wars to continue that tradition. Anyway, the Rebels have better characters, but most of them also kind of lack the life you need to truly become attached and feel camaraderie in a squadron. There is a fast-talking Trandoshan who is awesome, but beyond that, the cast is extremely forgettable. As I said before, multiplayer is the draw here. Squadrons gameplay is very solid. It revolves around the idea that you have to manage your power. You can shift your power between your weapons, shields, and engines, and doing so greatly increases the effectiveness of each. Learning how to do this quickly, on the fly, in the right moment, is the key to success, and it is a fun and addicting concept that can really wrap you up. The game modes themselves are rather simplistic, which is a little bit disappointing, but they are incredibly fun. There's Dogfight, which is just the classic team deathmatch. It's tried and true, if a little bit stale. In this match, teams of 5 go up against each other, and the most kills win. Simple, slower paced than the other game mode, but still fun. I found that this mode lost its flavor really quickly, but there just really isn't much to it. The other game mode is called Fleet Battles, and they are for sure the high watermark of this game. In this mode, each team has a capital ship, 2 frigates, and a corvette. You must engage and destroy the enemy ships, including their capital ship, before the other team destroys yours in a kind of back and forth tug of war. You are not just 5 other human flyers. You also have bot-controlled starfighters, so these battles can become quite hectic. Turbo lasers and laser cannons streak past as you blast through the area at high speed. It really is quite enjoyable. And it's more tactical than Dogfight. There are objectives that you have to complete as a team while holding off the enemy in order to push the line of battle closer to the enemy's main vessel. If you love flying starfighters, then this is the game mode that you're going to enjoy for hours. I wish they had a few more maps to cycle through, but it's pretty overlookable, at least considering the brief time that I've had with the game. The graphics are incredible. I have a top-of-the-line machine, and it looks really great. The ships are gorgeously detailed, the hangars look awesome. The game is designed for virtual reality, and this does limit how much you can walk around. Time in the hangar is chained to the point-and-click transport that is the hallmark of games like that. But you spend such a small amount of time there that it's easy to get past it. The insides of the cockpits are incredible. Instruments work, as instruments should, and there are tiny details which makes things look lived in and used. You can customize them a bit with holograms or hanging decorations, and, of course, this is where the microtransactions come in. You can customize your entire starfighter to a high degree, which is very nice. It more than makes up for the complete lack of pilot customization. There are a whole heap of mods that help your starfighter perform to your liking in combat, but thankfully, most of the purchasable things are cosmetic, and they do have a ton of cosmetics, giving you a ton of options to play with. You can make your ship look like just about anything, and that is very enjoyable. Overall, I would give Squadrons a 7 out of 10. The gameplay is quite fun, the graphics are absolutely gorgeous, but the story is completely lacking in substance, and the multiplayer, while good, is a little bit thin. I would say that the game is worth it, but wait until it's on sale. One of those, I got an extra $20 so fuck it type of buys. It is honestly a bit of a joke to think that this game is being sold at a full $40, considering how little content there actually is, but that is just my personal opinion. Alright guys, that was a quick and dirty one. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see more, then please leave a like and subscribe. Share the place with your friends. Make sure y'all are having a good one. I hope everybody's alright out there. Until next time, may the Force break your chains.